Hey friends, Steve Guttenberg here, and I am the Audiophiliac, and today I'm going to attempt to do the impossible. I'm going to attempt to turn you people on to new music. And I say it that way because it's so subjective. Musical taste, what I like, you like, it's all over the map, right? But you guys who've watched these reviews, you kind of know where I'm coming from. So when I say something is worth your time to check out, check it out, right? But the twist to this episode of music reviews is that I also asked for you guys to send me your picks. So I listened to a bunch of your music and I came up with a short list of the things that you guys like. So it's a lot of me and a lot of you. That's what I'm saying here, right? And of course, in the comments below, you can list your picks too. So it's wide open, turning each other on to new music. Anyway, so I'm going to start with a really strong one. J.S. Ondara, Tales of America. What a voice. It's a blues record. It's a very acoustic record. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous production. Space, depth. It really does it all. But it's his voice. It's just everything about the way this record comes together. If you're into sort of, I was going to say Americana, but very contemporary feeling, but not in the cliched sense of contemporary bluesy records. It's its own thing. It's a stunning piece of work. Now, this next one is a woman, Gaelynn Lee. She has a few records that I like. I'm not going to list any single one. I'll flash a couple up right now, but there's a beauty to her sound. She sings and plays guitar and I think violin, but she reaches into her soul in a quiet, quiet way that's just so tender and beautiful, and it's just so moving. I just love it. It's bluegrassy music, you could say. It's acoustic folk music, but it's just her thing, and it's just stunning. And by the way, I always plug my Patreon. She has a Patreon. I'll link to it. I supported her Patreon. I think she's just an incredible artist. Next up is Alex Ebert, and the record is called Alexander. And he's sort of a hippie-ish type. He's nice melodies, catchy tunes, but a hippie, like a modern version of what a hippie is in 2020. He's got it. I like the sound of this record a lot. And the songs are all good. The songs are all different arrangements. You just want to listen to the whole thing. Very, very nice record. Mary Lee's Corvette, Blood on the Tracks. Well, so Mary Lee, I think that's the person, did the entire Bob Dylan record, Blood on the Tracks, song for song. And her delivery is bigger and louder than Dylan's. She's hitting it hard. I wouldn't call it exactly rock music or hard rock, but she's got a powerful voice, and she's letting you feel it. And that's the thing. When you hear a great artist interpreting Bob Dylan's lyrics, it just opens them up in a different way. And I love this record. You know what? I actually like it more than Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks. But anyway, if you're into Dylan and you want to hear somebody else tackle a Dylan record in its entirety, check out Mary Lee's Corvette. Speaking of intensity, Lucinda Williams' new record. I said this before in a review. She's pissed. She is angry. She's an angry woman this time out. Just the state of the world, I think, has sort of ignited her. And it's a harder hitting, more rock record from her. If you're into Lucinda and you haven't paid attention in a while, this is where you get back in. Now, Nina Simone's piano album, where it's just her playing piano. You know, by the way, this is an awesome sounding recording. This is an audiophile grade recording, but it was recorded in, I'm guessing, the late 60s. So she has this, if you know Nina, she's got a powerful voice, but she's a great piano player. She's known for her singing, but she's terrific on keys. And she covers Dylan. I mean, it's a strong, strong album. And the arrangements vary from tune to tune, but it's really just her and piano. And I just love this record. And I'm a fan, but I didn't know about it until recently. If you're into that sort of thing, jazzy, vocal, piano thing, that's it. Now, completely out of left field, Benjamin Clementine, I Tell a Fly. Well, here's a guy with a voice. It's practically operatic. The whole album, it feels like a theatrical production of a musical, and he's just incredible. What power, what control, huge production. And I'm not always a fan of big, highly produced records, but this one, he keeps it grounded. He keeps it real. It's not just production for production's sake. It just works around his incredible, incredible voice, and also a really, really strong recording. And to bring it down a notch, sort of, is Nils Fram's solo record. Now, he basically plays piano, but his piano always seems sort of treated somehow. It's acoustic, or it's processed somehow. And he just takes you places with this solo piano deal. But there's a lot going on in his performance, in his sound. You know, I'm a sound guy. That's why I'm an audiophile. It's not just the notes. It is about the sound. And the sound of his solo record is just so strong. And you play this over a great system, especially one that is capable of dynamics, it will floor you. Kate Tempest is a poet, a fierce poet. And she's this record, Traps and Lessons, was made in 2019, but it feels like right now. It is full of very strong emotions. She's had a hard life. Let's put it that way. She's had a hard life. She's telling her stories through poetry, but it's not like the pretty, coffee house poetry. This is just like grabbing you by the throat poetry. And there's a musical bed to the whole thing, but it's really about her words and her delivery, and she will, like these others, I'm picking strong records here. She will get to you, Definitely. Most of these records are new, but Stan Getz's Focus album from 1961. Well. It's Stan Getz, the saxophone player, with strings, and he commissioned these works, these string arrangements, and then basically improvised on top of them. And I read somewhere that Stan Getz, the master himself, said this record, Focus, is his favorite of all the albums he's made, and he made a lot of albums, but Focus is his pick. And when I heard it, I didn't know that, but it was like, phew, there's something going on here. Those strings are not just there to be pretty. They're there to inspire him to wail away on his sax. Okay, so now I'm going to run down some of the ones from you guys, and I'm going to start with Citizen Queen, came to me from Ryan. And Citizen Queen is an a cappella girl group. They're women from 16 to 22 years old. A cappella, I like a cappella albums in general, but this one, the thing that's special about it is that it's not the sweet kind of a cappella singing. It's got more soul to it. It's got more grit. And considering their youthful ages, that's extra impressive. It sounds pretty good too. Next up is from F. Parent. And the album he picked is by a band called Pineapple Thief. And what is it called? It's called Your Wilderness. And I like the cover. It's an intriguing cover. And it's jazzy. I tend to like things that are sort of open up and jazzy, but it's got a great sound, killer drummer, and I like the lyrics. They're quirky, they're different, they're not traditional or anyway normal rock music. I'm trying to find what it's like. I don't know what it's like, and that's what makes it good. Mark sent along De-Phazz Days of Twang. Well, first of all, I kept listening to this one. That's always a good sign, right? From the first listen, I was totally in. It's sampled music, it's funk. It's funny. It's got a sense of humor to it, but it's just very, very well produced, sampled, jazzy, funky rock music. And I was in. Thank you. Thanks, Mark. To finish up, Tarso reminded me of Dead Can Dance in concert album. You guys probably know Dead Can Dance. If you don't, figure it out, because they're really, really good. Kind of like a Middle Eastern percussive thing. A lot of space, a lot of big drums, a lot of weight, big spaces, and their studio records are good. But hearing Dead Can Dance do this music live, it adds something to it. I actually prefer the live sound compared to their studio recordings, which are really, really excellent, but the live one is even better. So there you have it. A bunch of music, a mess, a total mess of music of all, well, not all, but lots of different genres in there, lots of variety. So hopefully out of all of that, you can find one or two or maybe even three things that you really, really like and are appreciative of. You'd say, wow, Steve, I'm so glad you turned me on to this music. That would make my day. Really would. And of course, if you have suggestions about music that you like, list the artist and the name of the album, or band, or song, or something below in the comments section. My name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. If you like it, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that button right down there. Give me a thumbs up when I deserve it. Yeah, you could share them. That would be nice on Twitter and Instagram and wherever. I'd appreciate that as well. But what else can I tell you? You should check out the playlist. There's a ton more music reviews in the playlist, and along with speaker reviews and electronics reviews and headphone reviews and interviews, tons and tons of things. But I think I'm done. I'm getting tired. So all I can say at this point is, my name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. Thank you so much for watching, and I really, really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.